I think the thing is that we all have stories. We have stories that we've created about ourselves. We have stories that we accepted, that were handed to us as we were, younger, when we were younger. We have stories that we have been told over and over again that at some point maybe we resisted, but then we started to believe that they were truth. And what's really interesting is that in the fact that we are willing to accept what other people believe about us, and we're willing to accept other people's projections of what we should be or who we should be onto us, creates this whole scenario where we start to live our lives in a way that is not our own truth. We believe that we are some way because someone in our life who was of influence told us that we were. And I think that a lot of this happens when we're young. And when we're young, we don't have the life experience to know that we can question just because somebody is telling us that we're a certain way, or just because somebody is saying that we should feel a certain way or act a certain way, that it's truth. And I think it's pretty controversial. We feel that we were brought up a way that has led us to a place of comfort and safety because maybe our family of origin has instilled in us certain values or has shared with us certain belief systems. And at some point, we also realize that those beliefs might be false or that they're not ours. And for me, I think that that's really critical because when we're young, we don't realize or we don't recognize that what we're being told or what we're being shown or what's being emulated to us could be anything but the truth. And when it doesn't center with us, when it feels like it's off with us, even as a 3 or 4-year-old, we take that questioning that we do and we turn it into we make it bad. We turn it into something that isn't real. Because why would the people who are in positions of authority lead us astray? And I think this is a really big thing. I think that so many of us have gone through this. In the current vernacular, I think that people would say, oh, you gave away your power. But, when you're a child, it's not about giving away your power. It's about understanding, it's about learning what is quote unquote right and wrong. It's about learning what is your path forward. And it's so influenced by the projections of the people who are raising us. And it's not a judgment against them, right? I really believe that most parents, not all, but most parents do the best they can with what they have. And in the moment, it is what it is. But also in that moment, I want to honor the fact that there are many of us who weren't given what we needed and weren't put in a position where we felt safe or felt secure in knowing that we had someone behind us that could have our back. And I think it's really important to just acknowledge, it's not about blame. In my own personal experience, I don't have any desire to blame my parents. I really do feel that they had the information that they had, and they did the best that they did. And I think that there is so much truth in the statement that when you know better, you do better. And so that's the rub, right? That's the rub, because so many of us get to a point in our lives where we we know better, and yet we are struggling with what the do better really looks like. And it's hard. It's hard because sometimes it means looking in the mirror and seeing something back at you that has never been seen before. I think the thing about accepting the projections that were put on us as children is that there's a risk that we don't then look for our own truth. And this is tough stuff. Like, it's not your run-of-the-mill spirituality, right? Where we're told that everything is zen and everything is good and we just focus on the positive. I think that what this invites in is the opportunity to look at really dark places within us that maybe we didn't even know existed. And that takes courage. And that takes tenacity. But I believe, and I've been shown in so many ways, that we are here in this human experience for one reason, and that's to evolve. And evolution comes in so many shapes and forms, but ultimately it comes in the questioning of what is our truth and what isn't. And at some point, if we want to take that next step, if we want to evolve as a spiritual being in this human experience, we have to look at some of the really painful stuff, with the really deep stuff. And maybe even the stuff that we didn't realize was an issue. And when we're ready to do that, when we're ready to question our belief systems in any way, on any level, I think it's magical. I think that it's that point where you start to tap into like the essence of who you are. And when you're able to do that, and when you invite that in, it opens up doors that never existed before. And then your life changes completely.